Sonic, he's got an attitude. Sonic, he can really move. I'm not going to finish it. God, I feel like such a dork when I do that, but god damn it, as a 35-year-old man, let me dork now and then. Let me dork. So Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I guess I should give my takes on the first two, which I have reviews for, so you can go find them if you go to my homepage and you just type in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 or Sonic the Hedgehog review, whatever, you should find those videos. But long and short of it, I like the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. I think they're actually really solid, fun, entertaining family films. They're good popcorn films. But they carry enough action, enough charm, enough fun, enough heart that the characters are just enjoyable to watch. That they're all just good movies so far. And what I think about this, well, if you saw my out of theater reaction, you know that I feel the exact same way about this as well. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is just as enjoyable as the other ones. Is it my favorite of the three Sonic movies, though? That's a good question. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say it's my favorite one. It's got some great scenes. I'd even go so far as to say it's got some of my favorite scenes. That said, I do feel like maybe the second one might be my favorite. But regardless, the movie is what you saw in the trailer. It is Sonic. He's, trying to live his life with his friends. They're Team Sonic, though they don't know how to work like a team. Oh, who knew that? And they help the world fight bad guys, fight problem individuals. And Shadow the Hedgehog and Gerald Robotnik, also played by Jim Carrey, come into the picture, and we get the backstory and what happened there. And then, Eggman comes back, and they got to team up with him, but then he double crosses them, and now it's like the threat against the world, and we got to stop them. And we're going to learn a heartfelt lesson along the way. It was the friends we made along the way. This movie was just the friends we made along the way. But no, it does all of that. Here's some of the things that really stood out to me. One, they wasted no time. No time with Shadow. I think we opened a little bit with something like, I think with Sonic and the gang, but ultimately when it comes down to it, no, Shadow the Hedgehog. We're here for Shadow. He's our main antagonist. He's like the big draw coming here, and we open up with him. And Shadow is pretty damn cool. Like Keanu Reeves is arguably the best choice, because that is kind of what Shadow is. He is the John Wick of the Sonic universe. He's out for revenge. You killed my Maria, and they give him a gun, a laser blaster, but they give him a gun, it's still really, get him on the motorcycle. It's pretty cool, like with Shadow, and at the same time, you feel for Shadow too. I'm not gonna say his backstory was perfect. They do change it a little bit from the games. This is not a big spoiler. The games have been around forever. He's not the ultimate life form in the sense that he was created like in the games. They found him. He was just another hedgehog. He just happened to be the ultimate life form. He just happened to be that powerful of a character or of an individual. And that was it. But he still befriended Maria, and they had their friend. And I'll say this. The scenes we get with him and Maria are very nice. Like, you buy this friendship that was born between these two. And there's a line they say in that flashbacks, because it is flashbacks, that I knew immediately was going to come back. But it came back in a very nice way. It has to do with stars. But yeah, Shadow's awesome. Our three, let's call them elites. Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails. They're all enjoyable. I did hear a good, not complaint, but criticism. And that Tails is kind of the weakest of the three characters. He's not bad. The best way I'm starting to describe it is he's kind of the Ringo of the group. Hey, he can do a couple things, and every once in a while he's got a good joke. Someone's got to play the drums. But between him, Knuckles, and Sonic, he is the short man. He's drawing the short straw here in terms of stuff going on for him, stuff to do. It's not even that he's unlikable. He's just not as likable as Sonic or Knuckles. And they give them a bit more story to work with. They're not used to working as a team. They got to figure out how to work as a team, all that stuff. And then Sonic facing off against Shadow, and when something happens in the movie, him kind of turning into Shadow a little bit. And where that ultimately kind of leads. So, I'll definitely say that the actions looks good. The effects look good. And I've heard someone say, and it's true, Jim Carrey steals the show. Like, Jim Carrey in every single one of these is the reason those films made $300 plus to $400+ million. Jim Carrey, it was said he was done, he was retired, and they said, "No, I'll come back for this." He plays 2 roles, and my God, it is practically seamless. I can't find like a double or an edit how they were able to do, the 2 actors, him playing the same character back to back. It looks too damn good. You would not believe that it was the same person. I mean, you believe that it's like, oh, that's Jim Carrey playing that. I get it. But you would not believe it's the same person because they literally look like they're in the same room interacting with each other all the time. And the humor between these guys is fantastic. Oh my God. There's a joke. There's a joke between them about him testing if he's really his grandfather, which is pretty funny. But there's also a joke that Robotnik has that I've got stuck in my head. It's like, "Hedgehog, where'd you go? I'm not finished trauma dumping on you yet." But even Robotnik gets an arc. He does get, and it's an arc that I really liked with the character. Like, he doesn't go straight good guy. I'll say that. He does not go straight good. But he, without giving too much away, he goes in a way that would make sense for him. Now, whether or not he says, Jim Carrey says, "Oh, I'm retired. We doing a 4th one? You want me in it?" Okay. Whether or not that happens, I don't know. If they do, I am curious if they could still keep doing it. They do some fun stuff with Eggman and Robotnik, including, it's happened twice, and it's happened once in each of the other movies. There's a dance sequence. That's all I'll say. It is arguably one of the highlights of the movie. It is so funny. It's so goddamn funny. And like I said, it's overall a well-paced film, I think. I mean, there is a moment where it turns into a heist film. And I will agree that it's not bad, but it did remind me of the stopgap in the second movie, where they're in Hawaii and Sonic and Tails get captured and they got to break him out, and the wedding plan. It did admittedly remind me of that. And I'm like, I'm not feeling this part as much, but luckily it's relatively short, even shorter than the last film. So I can, and there's still some funny moments in there, so I can move past that absolutely. And like I said in my out of theory reaction, how is it the best live action Dragon Ball Z movie we got was Sonic 3? Talk to me about that. Figure that out. But legit, it's the best. And look, you can kind of get where I'm going with that. I won't say what exactly happens. The toys leaked it out. It's been leaked in the toys, but I'm not going to say it out loud. Just in case you haven't seen the toys or anything like that. And I didn't realize the music playing that scene was from the game. And then I was watching, what was it? The Loading Cruise video, D&D Alignment of Shadow. And I realized, oh, that's the music I heard in that scene. Okay, that's actually really cool. So yeah. Is there anything negative I could say about the film? Negative. Like I said, I don't know if I could say anything really negative. Criticisms? Like I said, I think Shadow's backstory was handled fine. It could have handled maybe a little better. I didn't think there was really much closure with, there wasn't really a cap off for the character of, what was it? Oh God, I can't. Eggman's henchman, his helper. I could have used Living a little bit more for that, but I think it did end well enough. I will say, it's entirely possible they can keep going with certain characters, but you're going to have to figure out a good way to bring certain characters back if you're going to keep doing that, because Robotnik survived. Okay, Robotnik we knew was around in the second movie. It's fine. He survived at the end. It's fine. In the second movie, he died. He falls into the giant dust and explosion of his robot dying. But they never found his body. So that, and you could realistically say he could come back. I'm not gonna say what happens in this movie, but you're gonna have to figure out a good way to bring certain characters. I'm not saying it's Robotnik this time around. It's actually it's not robotic. Or at least not only robotic. Is it or is it not? But there's at least a couple characters. Let me put it that way. There's at least a couple characters, like 3 at least, where you'd have to go, okay, if you're bringing that character back, how? Some of them you can kind of logic work it in your head a little bit. Others, you're like, my brain's kind of going, but yeah, so I'd say there's that. The mid-credit scene says, I didn't know there was a post-credit scene. The mid-credit scene, though, I liked, and it's not even like it's actually not, it's like a legit scene, too. It's not like 15 seconds, hey, I'm here, huh? No, it's like a minute-long scene, and there's like a little action sequence and everything. It's actually quite entertaining. And it does set up for possible more stuff in the future. Otherwise, I don't have much. I'll say this. Okay, we'll say this. I love James Marsden, and I don't know the name of the actress who plays his wife. I'm sorry, we've seen him 3 times, but I love those two. I'll admit, I like them more in the first 2 movies than I did here. I think this is the weakest portrayal of the characters. Weirdly enough, particularly the wife. And I like the actress. She's an entertaining actress, a beautiful lady, but like there's a scene. I'm not going to say exactly what happens. There's a scene where Tom gets hurt. Okay, I think that's fair enough to say. He gets hurt, and he gets hurt bad. And when she sees him, her reaction isn't like she does like Tom, but it's like she's not like as freaked out as say like Sonic is. And I'm like, girl, that's your husband who you've been defending from movie 1. and from the history that we learned in movie 1 and beyond for much longer than movie 1. So what the hell? By the way, to this day, I still don't have a goddamn answer for why her sister doesn't like James Marsden's character. There's still not a goddamn explanation. It made me really hate on the character. And when I first watched the movie, I legitimately asked the question, is it because he's not black? Like, I'm being legitimately serious here. Like, it's just like, leave him. Like, when you say, but then they explain, like, oh no, he loves her dearly. He worked multiple jobs to put her through school. Like, that's a keeper, ladies. And I mean, he's good looking and like all that. He's a sweetheart, got a good sense of humor. Like, that's a keeper, ladies. I don't care what color your skin is, nor should you care what color your skin is. But I have to ask the damn question, like, is it because he's not black? Like, why do you hate him? There's, what? What is your deal? Like, now later, like after the Sonic stuff happens, I can understand then why you might not like him. But beforehand, you like legitimately hate him. Like, you want your sister to leave him. For what reason? To what intent and purpose? Like, there's nothing there. There's nothing to hate. I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I can't think of much I dislike on the movie. This is just a very entertaining movie. And I can definitely tell you, I am glad I didn't see this. I'm glad I saw this opposed to Mufasa. Apart from the fact I didn't even actually fully watch the last remade Lion King. Not big on prequels. I don't mind them, but I'm not big on them. Let me put it this way. I like them if you can really adapt a existing source material. Like The Hobbit, for example. I actually really like the Hobbit films. I'm one of the people who really enjoys those films. Like, that works. There are other films I think can work, but like The Thing could have worked, but The Thing prequel did not ultimately work. But Mufasa, I'm like, why do I need to know the origin of Mufasa? And apparently they're not blood related, which, as a lot of people kind of been pointing out, is like a real retcon. Like, what? Why would you do that? Like, that makes no sense. I'm gonna be honest too. It's amazing that it is all CGI, and that is good CGI, all things considered. But the effects just don't look as good as I think the first film did. And I think the problem for me is when you're doing photorealistic animals, and especially when you're adapting a lot of a animated source material into live action, the reason it works better usually in animation than live action is because you can give them more human expressions. You can give them bigger eyes, big smiles, all that. Whereas, yeah, photorealistic is cool, but you're limiting yourself in terms of what you can demonstrate with the models you have. Anyway, I digress. Starling 3 is great. Trailers. I got a new trailer for Lilo and Stitch. We've had that original one where he's just like he's running around just destroying the sandcastles. But now they did one Mufasa thing. It's like I gotta admit, I am kind of looking forward to that because I mean, at least if nothing else, Stitch is portrayed well. Elio. I need a full trailer for Elio. It's weird too. The first trailer felt more like a full trailer than the second trailer did. But it's that most recent trailer where it's like, oh, this is the most beautiful place I've ever seen. This is the bathroom. So, by the way, kid, like, you do not want to get them. You're lucky these things don't eat kids, at least the ones that I found you. So that's, I'm looking to get abducted. You know, my mole is the shape of that constellation. Like, what? Why? What? Like, you're a kid, I get it. But whatever. Otherwise, it looks charming. I don't mind the idea of it. I'm now realizing too that we're now fully into I think words here 2025 for the trailers. Let's see here. Final Reckoning, Mission Impossible. Look, I love Dead Reckoning, so I will definitely check this one out. Like, I'm down, absolutely. I can't think of any reason not to be down. I'm down with the sickness. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember all the trailers. I'm saving the big one for last because I fully remember that, and I don't do trailer reactions anymore. So giving my thoughts on what came out as yesterday is, yeah, I think it makes sense. I was actually very surprised to see that trailer, to be honest. Okay, let's see. 2025 movie list. What else is coming out? I know I got like 7 trailers. So let's see. Stitch, which is admittedly only like a 30-second spot. Elio, Mission Impossible. Let's see here now. Didn't get Wolfman. Not Flight Risk. Hers, Love with Eyes. No Paddington. No, none of the Marvel stuff. What was the other ones? Sinner. Nope. Bag Nova. Nope. Nope. No Snow White. Magazine Dreams, nope. A Working Man, nope. Oh, The Unbreakable Boy, we got that one. Not my thing, but it looks nice. The Minecraft movie, that's it. I'll answer it again in the Q&A, don't worry. But no, that will not make $1 billion. Someone asked me that in my Q&A question, and I'm like, no, it will not. But I'll answer that in more detail come Wednesday next week, come Christmas. Did not get. I was surprised we didn't get Karate Kid Legends. I would have thought maybe we could have gotten something like that. Otherwise, yeah, there's we got all of them except for the big one. The big one to talk about, seeing as we're how far are we into this now? I guess about like 4 minutes talking about it. The Superman trailer. Now, I've been on record saying I'm not a big Superman fan. I don't hate Superman. I just don't like the fact that he's been written as a legit god. And I mean like legitimate god. He is so powerful that you need to figure out creative ways to write around his power set, which is fine because his story is more like a god living among men, just wanting to be a normal person while still having all these godlike powers. I get that. But the problem is you've now amped him up so much that there shouldn't realistically be any problem that he can't solve with his powers. Like, you've made him that strong, writers. And that's not compelling for me. It's not. Because now you got to introduce other threats that are even stronger than him. But it doesn't matter because he's technically the strongest thing there is. So, I had a quick smile. I had a stroke. No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. But with all that being said, that trailer was fucking beautiful. Like, no joke, every time I watched it, and then I watched it again for a second time, and I'm like, every time that kid holds up the sign and just whispers Superman, hoping he's going to show up, I like it. I can feel the emotion. I can feel the tear roll up in my eye. And every time I see even someone react to it, I'm like, dear God, I'm getting emotional every time that happens. And the question is, why? And I had to think, I was like, why? Is it the scene? Well, the scene is nice, but I don't know if that alone would do it. Is it the music? The music is freaking great. It's a combination. It's like if you did the Superman theme in a Top Gun style. And then I realized the answer is yes. It's the build-up. Showing Superman, first off, showing Superman the issue that he's so strong, just got his ass whooped. And it calls Crypto, who looks so adorable. And you get the buildup of the music. And then home, take me home. And then then you get into the bit, and you rescues the girl, and and it's the one thing I really do like about Superman, especially in modern era, where someone like this or something like this, an icon, a beacon of hope to show what we can be as humans if we actually want to be the best that we can be. And that scene where he's just when him saving people, just constantly saving people, and then that little kid bringing up the sign and just closing his eyes and praying and just whispering Superman, like, damn, that's so like, it gets me right in the feels. And like, just seeing all these heroes, and Guy Gardner, freaking Nathan, which, by the way, that scene where he's walking into the building, and they throw like the cup at his head, and he just kind of walks in ignoring it. He looks like a young Nathan Fillion in that scene. Did someone like Photoshop Nathan Fillion's face for a second? But yeah, the Guy Gardner, which again, his hair looks ridiculous, but he always looked ridiculous. He always looked ridiculous. Hot Girl, Mr. Terrific, Lex Luthor. Look, we got one line. It wasn't from Lex, but if we're just going by appearances, Lex looks good. Metamorpho, like, this is going to be insane. But at the same time, it looks like we see him like that shot with him and Pa Kent. The theory is maybe Ma Kent has passed in this world, not Pa. And I mean, look, my favorite Superman have always been the animated ones, because you are not bound by limitations in animation, but you can still tell stories that are confined to the worlds they are in. You can also scale your heroes a lot better, I think, in animation, again, when there's no limitations, versus a movie where you can't have Superman, say, break a multiverse with a punch in a movie. At least I'm assuming you can't. Maybe you can, and people would love it, but I think people would just go, okay, that was big spectacle, woo, not understanding the context of, he just broke the multiverse. What the hell are you talking about? So yeah, no, that trailer though is freaking-tastic. It really is. And look, I was going to see Superman regardless. I was. It's James Gunn. I love James Gunn for some reason. Look, if you're not a fan of James Gunn's style, that's fine. But this recent hate train for just any performer or actor, just because they're popular or just because you want something to fail. First off, if you want something to fail, you're a sad, pathetic loser. Wanting anything to fail, unless it's like an evil businessman, and I'm being legitimate about it. Unless it's like, say, Jeff Bezos or something like that, who's known to be a bit of a dick, or Elon Musk, who is a dick. Again, if you like his products, that's fine, whatever. But if you want someone like that to fail, that's one thing. If you want a criminal to fail, a villain, like an actual evil person to fail. But if you just want someone who's doing their job to fail, if you want entertainment to fail, also you can feel good about yourself, that is sad as all hell. Touch some grass, go interact with people, and learn to live a little bit more. Now, with that being said, if you're not a fan of James Gunn, that's totally fine. Not everyone's going to be a fan of this movie. It's just the facts. I mean, I was shocked. Let me put it this way. If this movie can hold maybe an 80+%, I'll be ecstatic. At least based on the trailer. Now, maybe I see it and the stuff I like turned out not to work in the movie, and I'm going to be like, oh, that was a bit of a mess. Or maybe I'll think it's the best movie ever made. Or at least the best Superman movie ever made. I don't know. All I know is I look forward to it. And that Sonic 3 was great. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I got to do 2 more videos today. Later.